school Timono, federal government, free primary school now. Okay. was in Western region.
Okay.
So I went to this school, which is very near the house.
Okay.
And everybody
in
Ibadan.
Okay.
So everybody goes to that school. It was. My father picked it because of proximity.
Okay. What's it called?
Methodist school. Okay, I do one.
Okay.
Picked it because of proximity. Joko, welcome. So, Baba Jagon. But on the report, family Joko. Young. Okay. I went to a primary school, a public primary school. Okay. And one day there was a fight. The boy, how sometimes children, different backgrounds, said something about my father, and I beat him up. So it was reported at home. My father called me and said, "Sit down. How can you fight in public?" I said, "The boy said something nasty about you." I said, "Really? Where is it written on your body?" And I said, "No, he said it with his mouth." "Then tell me, where is the evidence?" He said, but what he said, I had to, but Daddy, I beat him up. He said, "That's not relevant." He said, "At no time must you let yourself be provoked that you behave outside how you have been trained." In other words, you pull people out of the gutter, you don't descend into the gutter. And I thought about it. As young as I was, I could not have been more than 8. I thought about it. And that's the truth. It takes time, it takes conscious effort, but you must never let yourself be provoked that you behave contrary to how you would normally behave. And when people annoy you, there are usually 3 basic reasons. The first is probably you have done something that they don't like. So this is reaction. In which case, listen to their grievance and apologize, and that's the end of it. The other thing is that, have you seen a happy person spread unhappiness? No. If you are happy, you want the whole world to be happy. So if somebody is trying to puncture your happiness, it means that person is also unhappy. In which case, you can't help the person. At least understanding why will help you to stop. It will help to stop you from getting angry. The third reason is the person who feels that, if I don't pull you down, I can't climb up. In which case, well, just leave it to God. That's between you and God. And between you and God, the law of karma is very strong. So, really, every person who claims to be civilized, you must know how to control your anger. You must know how to control your emotions. It doesn't mean that you will let the person get away with it, but don't be provoked to act contrary to how you would normally behave. When you have absorbed what the person has done, then you call the person and say, "Mr. Sheye, what you did to me, I don't like it. And I don't like it at all. And next time, don't be surprised because I will react." And that ends it. But when you start screaming and you lose your temper, you even lose the argument. So I have talked now about normal control. I've talked about marriage.
Can you take the marriage
one again? Yes. My mother told me when I got married, I said, the man that is going to be unfaithful, the man that's going to have children outside, there is nothing you can do about it. If you like, you can tie your wrapper around his ankle and walk around with him. It doesn't make any difference. The man who is going to be unfaithful is going to be unfaithful. So it's better for you to live your life happily. Live your life. Let him live his life. When you meet, you both have interesting conversations to carry out, which makes you a more interesting individual than tying yourself and going around and he's feeling that you are an irritant. Because that's a natural thing. Somebody that you know is chasing you and following every step you are making, it becomes very irritating. So that's what I learned from my mother. Now, when you look at your career, I will go back, same thing, to my younger days. When you get your report, my father says, is this your best? It doesn't matter if you came first or last. Was this your best? And you have to think, is this really my best? Usually, if you look at it, the answer is no. Now, when I was going to do, after my O-level, when I was going to do my prelim exam to get into the university, my father said, I don't think you are grounded enough to go. Number one, I was 16. It's not this age that they fly through school. I was 16, and he said, I don't think you are grounded enough to go. But all the same, the form, this is the form, fill in the form, go and try the exam. But even if you pass, you will not go. I said, okay, no problem. Now he has this habit. He will drive you and show you that this exam you have on Monday or Tuesday, this is where it is. So that you don't lose your way and be looking and be stressed before you get into the exam hall. So that Saturday, he drove me there. And I said, okay. So when we're leaving, he said, but I don't see you revising for this exam. I said, revise. Why would I revise? You said, I'm not going. Because in my mind, I was just going to walk into the exam hall, take the papers and go back home. And he was so shocked. I was surprised. He now parked the car. I said, you know something? Anything at all that you lay your hands on, your best must be there. You have to put in your best. So Monday you have an exam, you go there and put in your best. Fail or pass, in your mind, you are happy that you did your best. And that was when asking me, is this my best, crystallized in my mind. And that was what he meant. Whatever, it doesn't matter what, always put in your best. So when it gets to my career, all the time, it is your best that is good enough. You cannot do better than your best. But your best is what you must put in. And I think this has helped with Adam and Eve. My staff know every morning when I pass through the doors, it is with the eyes of the buyer. I'm looking at everything and I'm changing things as I'm going along. People ask me, do I have an expert who comes to look at it? I said, no. Because if today's best is not better than yesterday's best, then you haven't grown. So always, for success in a career, I'm sure you know the same thing. You must keep on pushing your own frontiers. If they tell you are first today, and you sit down that I'm first, the person who is fifth is going to go past you before you are aware of it. So on a daily basis, you have set that level. You must keep on pushing that level up. And that is it about a career. You must have enough passion and keep on making sure that today's best is better than yesterday's best. I thank God for his benevolence. Because God has been so, so kind. Incredibly, incredibly kind.
Wow.
I have a loving husband. And I'm happy in the relationship. I have children I'm happy with. I have a good relationship with them. I have a career that I'm happy with. So that at 70, I'm not thinking of retiring. I have the energy. There's so much to say thank you for. And the thing is, at 70, that's God's promise. A day after 70 is a bonus day. The years after 70 are bonus years. And my prayer to God is that he will continue to make me relevant so that even in old age, I can bear fruit.
How are you going to put all of this together? The three things you mentioned, your husband, children, and your career, and be able to balance out all.
Well, I actually didn't start out as an entrepreneur until my youngest was 10. In which case, if anything happens, he's smart enough to tell me what happened. So, because when you try to combine everything when the children are young, it's very difficult to escape the guilt feelings. Because if anything happens, you wish, if I had been there, it won't happen. Even to escape the guilt feelings, I didn't start early. But whatever, one must believe in the law of karma, that God has a hand in everything. I don't want people to feel guilty because of something that happened. No. If you were meant to do it that way, God would have arranged for you to have done it. Every mistake you make, there's a reason for it. The paths in life are not straight. So when God wants you to go this way, something must happen to make you turn away from your route. So I just want people to be happy. It's one life to be happy. You don't have to be selfish, but at least to be happy. And what is done is done. You can only make reparations for tomorrow. You cannot go back and make yesterday belongs to the past. Nobody can help the past. It's the future. So in future you can say, okay, I will not do that again. I will do it this way. Or something that your child has grown, you are thinking that, oh, if I had done it differently years ago. Oh, if your child was, after all, they are orphans and they grow to be fantastic people. Who guided them? And there's somebody there who is guiding these things. So, because there are a lot of people out there who feel so guilty and are weighed down by guilt. And guilt really does something. It brings diseases into the body. So that's my advice to everybody. Be happy. Mistakes you've made, let it go. The mistakes would not have been made if God did not want it so. So just let it go and look at the future and see how you can make the future brighter for yourself, for others.
At the time you took the decision to set up Adam and Eve, what made you go in that direction and not the other direction?
No, was that my decision? I think God had a hand in that, because I certainly did not think I could be a trader. That's what I am, basically. I didn't think I was made that way. But when my daughter, who was running Adam and Eve, decided that, no, she wasn't cut out for this, it's too sedentary, she didn't want it, I knew that is me. Adam and Eve is actually me. I enjoy it. I don't go out a lot. So when I call you out and you come to my home, I feel you've done 10 times better than me because I would not have gone the other way. So I like people to feel very at home when they come into my space. And Adam and Eve is all about that. It's about your personal comfort. It's about how you entertain, the value you place on the guests, the value you place on yourself. That's what Adam and Eve is like. When you talk about luxury must be comfortable. It's beautiful, yes, but it must also provide comfort. So that, I'm in it, and I'm glad I'm in it because I bought it over from my daughter.
Let's talk about 70. How does it come to you now that you're 70?
I'm very excited. I'm surprised at the excitement because I think I'm much more excited than I was at 60. 60 was a big milestone, but 70 is more than that. That it's God's promise come to pass. So He's given me the 70 years. Looks like He's going to give me some bonus years because I'm feeling very healthy, and I'm very excited. I can't understand the feeling. I'm surprised that my feet are touching the floor because they should be floating 6 feet above the floor. But it's good to be here. It's good to be here when you're in good health, when your mind is at peace. Very important. When your mind is at peace and you're in good health, it's exciting to be 70.
Tell us a bit about your lifestyle that has also helped you turning 70 because you really don't look 70. And I'm wondering, is it a lifestyle thing? Is it something you've done over the years that has helped?
Number one, I think because I don't bear grudges, I tend to let it go very quickly. So if you are not weighed down by anything, I like the the medical spas, I enjoy, being pampered. But a medical spa is more than a spa because somebody is monitoring your body. Yeah. But I don't think I want to put that. Just cut that part away from the interview because Nigerians will now feel, I don't want that bit. So just cut it off.
Then,
But Mr. Kennedy, no, this is off the record.
complimented your husband because he also does something similar to what you do. Of course, the fashion bit, the lifestyle bit, and all that. How come both of you work?
Lifestyle, we are all in the lifestyle industry. So that makes that makes life easier. It makes the conversation more interesting, And then, of course, it makes the holidays nicer because we all understand what lifestyle is. And the lifestyle has always been personal comfort. Very important. Personal comfort first. That is what lifestyle is.
Then I also wanted to know how you also balance the fact that you're a bit on the love side, he's a bit on the outgoing side. So how have you balanced that over the years?
That's what I say actually, because now when they are advising you on who to marry, they tell you marry somebody with the same taste as you. That is so funny. That isn't what makes a marriage. When you are thinking of marriage, you must look at what are your moral standards. If both of you have similar moral standards, then it's okay to marry. It's not about having the same taste. Tastes change over the years, and it doesn't mean anything. Between my husband and myself, I trust him. But he knows that the day he messes up, then it's very difficult to build the trust again. I sleep early. Even as we talk now, at 9 o'clock, my phone shuts everything down. And it doesn't wake up till 6 o'clock. So if you call me between 9 and 6, it's not me you should be calling. It's my husband you should be calling. Because I'm asleep. I go to bed early and I wake up early. He doesn't go to bed early. He enjoys staying up. And then he wakes up later. Whatever you're doing, I have to see the whites of your eyes before I leave the house. So I'm going to wake you up at 6, between 6 and 6:30, with a cup of coffee. And we'll have coffee together and we'll have a conversation. Provided we are catching up on each other's daily doings, nothing against it. I can't stay up at night. If I go to a nightclub, besides I'm going to sleep, I have to go home. In the days of people smoking, the smoke stings my eyes, and I don't want to stay. So why am I punishing myself? Sitting, whereas if you are happy in the smoky atmosphere, and I'm not happy, so why should I suffer discomfort? Yeah. It's the person who participates in the ceremony who should be fasting now. But it hasn't made any difference. It just means that our conversations are more interesting.
And how did your growing up years and when you were born, how did all of this prepare you for who you are today?
Okay. My father ended up as a university professor. Professor Emeritus, Cornelius Ogunlesi retired. Foremost educationist, call him. And my mother, incidentally, was a UMC trade teacher. UMC. They were groomed to be wives of the reverend gentlemen. They were being groomed to be wives of the clergy. And that meant that they must have organizational abilities. The organizational abilities was very good. You have to be industrious because the clergy were not well paid, so you needed to have a second string of, and you need to be able to build a home because the clergy then were the class of educated men that were being bred to replace the people when they went. So that is my mother. Then luckily for her, she also got a scholarship to go to a finishing school in Surbiton in England. So that is my home atmosphere. And I say something. If your mother is a teacher or your father is a teacher, teachers are trained to pass on information. So you are very lucky because they will pass on what they want to pass on to you very clearly. You will understand their right and wrong very clearly, no ambiguity. I was lucky to have both parents as teachers. So a sense of right and wrong is very clear. And now you might say, okay, the world is bending it a bit, but no doubt at all about it. They tell you what is right and wrong. And the other thing actually in my family was that my mother was insistent that you are siblings. You must be able to tell each other the truth. When you say brother me, if your brother is doing something wrong, you cannot talk because it's brother me. My brother is 4 years older than me. I've always called him his name. And I remember there was one day my mother-in-law was saying, you are too strict looking. So if you see somebody with a girlfriend, you say, I said, in my house, if I walk into a party and my brother looks up and he's there with a girlfriend, he will go out through the back door. I will not see her. Because he knows that if I see him, I'm going to stand in front of him and say, what do you think you are doing here now? And yet there's a 4-year gap. And I think that is one of the things that has bonded us. The ability that we can tell each other anything. We can tell each other the truth. There's no, because it's in that trying to be Yoruba respectful that you cannot say, brother, what you are doing is nonsense. You dare not. But my mother made sure, she said, strangers, you are like an ostrich with your head in the sand. Strangers will pass and not say one word. It's your sibling that can say, take your head out, Joe. Everybody can see your bone. So that was the atmosphere we grew up in.
Which siblings?
5 others, 6 of us. So it's a more relaxed atmosphere. We grew up in that relaxed atmosphere. And the other thing is, because my father was permanent secretary, they had cocktails. We actually went to bed at 6:30. To all intents and purposes, we went to bed at 6:30, but you didn't have to close your eyes and sleep. You have your bedside lamp and you read a novel until you fall asleep. But to all intents and purposes, your day has ended at 6:30. But you could read 3 novels before you fall asleep. But it should be there. And they made sure that you had that constant flow of books. We all have a reading habit.
I also noticed that you and your husband, you always hold this annual carol and there's always this part of it. How come you came up with that tradition?
Okay. The secondary school, St. Anne's.
Okay.
St. Anne's Ibadan, the oldest girls' school in Nigeria, because it's over 1969 was the 100th year. So you can imagine how many years it is now. Yes. That was the highlight of the 3rd term, because it's now we practiced, we did the 9 lessons, just exactly the way we do it now. And it was a big thing for us, and I used to enjoy it. And so I just felt that it's nice, because the Christmas message is so important. And each year we get a reverend father, somebody, to deliver a Christmas message, which must always be a message of hope. A new year is beginning. Your heart must be filled with hope. You cannot be despondent at the beginning of a new year. With the coming of Christ, there's always hope. Something better is around the corner. So that's why you have the carol.
Thank you very much.